Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and the new Nigeria is certainly possible. And a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, we've come again to have a discussion on the things happening in Nigeria. As we know, this end bad government protest is gaining traction everywhere. We know that our Omoyele Sowore have outlined the cities that are ready for the planned nationwide protest, and also talking about the people who are leading them on those cities. We're bringing that up in this very hour. And again, we also got news, information reaching us from Lagos State, is that the Oro Festival, which is very known for Yoruba's festivities around Lagos State, is also planning to join the protest. The end bad government protest is going to coincide with Oro Festival starting from the 1st of August up till 15th of August. So the let's say the ancestors has decided to join the bad governance. Whether the bad governance protest is also happening around the festival or the masquerade, I think that is what we're about to find out. And also we are going to bring you about what the National Security Advisor has said to the governors across the 36 states of the Federation, that there is a growing momentum for the planned end bad governance in Nigerian process. And of course, we also bring you about what the police is doing to somebody who simply said that he is going to protest, flogging, beating, handcuffed, and all of that in this 21st century. Well, all of this we are going to discuss. Both the people joining us on Zoom virtually and also in the studio. I have Mercy here and of course the lady Okike.
Good evening, well-meaning Nigerians. Thank you for joining us on this live broadcast.
Welcome and thank you for joining us.
All right, wherever you are now, please hit the like button, share, so that other obedience and well-meaning Nigerians will know what is happening at this very protest is being is hotting up. The tensions are high, but the government is saying that there is anarchy, there is chaos, is going to be this and that. We don't know about that. But let me start with the narrative that you need a police permit to carry out protest in Nigeria. It is entirely false. You don't need a police permit or a letter. It's false. The Nigerian Constitution guarantees the right to peaceful assembly and the protest. In section 40 of the 1990 Constitution as amended, it states clearly, and in quote, every person shall be entitled to assemble freely and associate with other persons, and in particular, he may form or belong to any political party, trade union, or any other association for the protection of his or her interests. Additionally, Section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of expression, which includes the right to hold and express opinions, receive and impart ideas and information without interference. The Nigerian police have one duty from the 1st of August to the 10th of August, and that is to protect peaceful protesters. Let's look at what happened to a young man who just only mentioned that he wants to participate in a protest, and he is being flogged by the police, according to the information reaching us, on handcuff also. If that is a gig, well, one needs to find out. Let's take a listen to what he has to say. Also, he was talking in Hausa, but of course, somebody made a tweet and they explained what was happening there. Let's take a listen first before we get to discussions.
jagoranci zanga-zanga na jihar Zamfara ko?
Ni ne.
Za ka jaye ko ba za ka jaye ba?
Gaskiya ba zan jaye ba.
Za ka jaye ko ba za ka jaye ba?
Gaskiya ba zan jaye ba.
Me dalilin da yasa ka jagoranci?
Saboda zaluncin da ake mamu yayi yawa.
A matsayin garkuwa na
ni ne garkuwar matasan jihar Zamfara domin sun dora alhakin su a kaina.
Za ka jaye ko ba za ka jaye?
Kara masa mana.
Me dalilin da yasa?
Kara masa mana.
Saboda
akan me yake haka?
Adalci ne gwamnati ba ta maka.
Ka buge shi da kyau nace maka, buge shi da kyau. Buge shi da kyau nace maka.
Wata jaha ce.
Buge shi da kyau. Gobe ya sake. Buge shi da kyau. We go arrest him.
Inda zamu je wallahi ba zan jaye.
We go arrest him.
Sai dai ku kashe. Wallahi sai dai ku kashe.
Kai, kneel down, my friend. Kneel down, my friend. Kneel down, my friend. I said kneel down. Kneel down, my friend. Kneel down, my friend.
Wallahi sai dai a kashe.
Kasa Allah. Hey, kneel down, my friend. I said kneel down.
Me sunanka?
Sunana Bashiru.
Daga ina?
Jihar Zamfara Tsafe local government.
Duk mun ji a bidiyon da kai daga Tsafe local government wani gari?
Kuncin Kalgo.
Me dalilin da yasa ka jagoranci wannan?
Saboda zaluncin da ake mamu yayi yawa.
Wani irin adalci ne gwamnati ba ta yi muku ba?
Ba abinda gwamnati ta yi mamu.
To ka jaye zanga-zangan nan.
Wallahi sai dai a kashe ni ban jaye ta.
Wannan fa baya jefa kai kana ji doke shi mu tafi da shi.
Wallahi ba zan.
Doke shi mu tafi da shi.
Sai dai a kashe ni ba zan.
Doke shi mu tafi da shi.
Bidiyoyin da kai ka tura ma duniya.
Wallahi gaskiya na tura saboda haka ba zan jaye gaskiya ba. Wallahi ba zan goge gaskiya ba.
Zaka iya rasa rayuwanka.
Wallahi sai dai a kashe ni.
Wallahi za mu kashe ka.
Wallahi ran kada sai dai a kashe ni.
Wallahi
na rike da Allah sai dai a kashe.
Carry him, carry my friend. Carry my friend. Carry my friend. Carry my friend.
Well, as we can see, probably as you can see, what is in this video, Bashir was arrested yesterday in Zamfara State, according to the report by the Nigerian police over his readiness to participate in the upcoming nationwide protest. He was dehumanized and tortured by the Nigerian police. Despite the maltreatment on him, Bashir stood his ground, stating he would rather die than abandon the national upcoming peaceful protest. The state police commissioner is responsible for this crime against humanity on innocent Bashir that is coming from B2B grassroots mobilization. Well, we have a lot of reactions to all of the, but let me quickly get to our people here before we get to people on Zoom. Lady Okike, you have seen this. That's why I started with the fact that the Nigerian constitution guarantees this. A peaceful protest is guaranteed. Of course, we've had different things coming out, the threats coming out from governments about they are coming to hijack the process and all of that. But looking at what just happened to this very young man, whom obviously is stating the obvious that he wants a peaceful protest. He was handcuffed. He was meant to kneel down. You understand? I was said to be arrested. Whether this is a gig that they are playing out, I wouldn't know, but from different sources that we have seen, it seems to be a real thing. What do you think that this should reflect according to the constitution? Is this guy's right being violated or not?
Oh, his right is definitely
by the people who are supposed to protect that right.
Exactly, and what we saw now was very dehumanizing. Nobody should go through that. It's not right for anybody to pass through that process just because they want to express their constitutional rights. It's very dehumanizing. It's better the government finds other way to deal with it than threatening and dealing with Nigerians who want peaceful protests the way they are going about it. Is very unfair.
So much threats. People have spoken about it. Like this very one, we are expecting a reaction. I think Oro have spoken about, different people have spoken about it. So I feel that people should, speak out when such a thing is happening. This guy is on handcuff, he's kneeling down, and he's said to be arrest him, all those things happening. It shouldn't be happening in this 21st century. And again, the protest has not even started.
Especially because you cannot state categorically what the guy did. What is his crime? What exactly is his crime for him to be arrested? And even if he was to be arrested, there's something he committed, flogging him and everything. Is he part of the
police work?
Being arrested? What they did was very wrong and against his rights.
Okay, let's hear your take, Mercy, on this before we get the people that will be joining us on Zoom.
It's actually very, very dehumanizing for them to treat the young man that way just because he wants to express himself through a peaceful protest. And for police to be, to me, they're actually threatening the Nigerian youth.
Yeah, they actually did something like this to the flag boy in Abuja that time, that people started protesting before they had to release the flag boy. Just because of a peaceful, this man is not even protesting.
To me, I just feel that they have their own way of trying to hijack this protest. From the look of things, because we are actually planning on a peaceful protest, and then they keep bringing on threats, talking about anarchies, where Nigerians are planning on a peaceful protest. Well, I still urge my Nigerian youth and every other Nigerian out there to still work on a peaceful protest, and we should just pay deaf ears to them.
Okay, before we get to our people who are joining us virtually, I will be starting with Mr. Basi. Now, Mr. Basi, before we get to the question, let me first bring you what Sowore, who happens to be the person at the forefront of revolution now. It's not today, it's not talking about revolution now. Let's bring the Oro Festival that Lagos is about to shut down, then we'll take it off from there. But let me start by telling you that a pro-Lagos social media page announced that the festival, this very Oro Festival, will take place during the same time that the nationwide End Bad Government protest will be happening. And this announcement of Oro Festival will be observed in various communities across Lagos, and also the post reads, "Attention residents and visitors of Lagos, please be informed that the Oro Festival will be observed in various communities across Lagos from 1st of August to the 15th of August. This traditional Yoruba cultural event involves significant rituals." That is this. And many Nigerians responded to this announcement by saying several things that it seems like a weak attempt to stop the planned End Bad Government protest by the government. But my take is that the Oro people wants to join the protest. That is what I just take out of this. The Oro Festival, as we know, is celebrated by various Yoruba towns and settlements. It's an annual event involving significant rituals, and is only celebrated by male descendants of the specific locations. And they usually take it up when elections are coming up to, make sure that they civil out, how to rig the election with the Oro. Whether that is government is coming up again, we wouldn't know. But let's see the reaction of people, Mr. Basi, before we get to you. One of the reactions of this this, I want it to be displayed so that our viewers could see what people are actually saying. But before they get to that, let's get to Mr. Basi. Mr. Basi, what are your reactions to what happened to the young man Bashir in Zamfara, and also touched on the issue of the Oro Festival in Lagos, where the Oro Festival is coinciding with the End Bad Government protest?
Thank you, Mr. Kanu. Good evening, studio panelists and Zoom panelists. Good day, Obidient, and for listeners across the world. This government is nothing short of a dictatorship government, where they are trying to shut down the people from carrying out their civic and their constitutional rights. I don't see any reason why that young man should be treated the way he was maltreated by the police, by mere indicating that he was going to join the protest. I mean, there is no law that forbids anybody from joining a peaceful protest. And for the police to do this, it's really, really shocking. I would have expected the police to go after the bandits that are terrorizing Zamfara state, rather than clamping down on innocent citizens who are peaceful, who wants to go about their peaceful protests. But here they are clamping down on a defenseless citizen who had no bad intention, but other than saying that there is hunger in the land and he wants to go on a protest, and he has been maltreated, mistreated. For me, that is an abuse of his human right. And I wish that the human rights lawyers, activists, should be able to take note of this and do what is appropriate by defending that young man's rights. And for the Oro Festival, well, it is It is sad and also very, very funny to see this happening. We remember we saw this in March 2023 during the governorship election. Oro Festival was celebrated again. And I want to believe that most of these cultural festivals, they have their time and season. They are not supposed to be coming out based on the fact that you are hearing that there's going to be a protest and you just hurriedly run out to announce the celebration of such festival. They are actually making mockery of our cultural heritage. This is what has happened, and it's unfortunate that the traditional institution have politicized those that highly revered institution by joining politicians to carry out these nefarious activities by trying to shut down their citizens. I'm even supposed to expect that traditional rulers should even be the custodian of truth in their various domains by telling government the truth of what people are going through, rather than joining force with government to suppress the voice of the people. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And like you said, on a lighter note, it is very possible that the gods too are angry and they want to join the masses to celebrate, to protest the inhumanity that this government have meted on their citizens. So that will be my take for now on that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to intervene.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kanu. Now, let's get the attention of Lord K. Lord K, aside from these two incidents happening, let me bring to your attention the fact that all the levels of government, both the state governors, the federal level, they seem to be talking much about not knowing the leaders or the sponsors or the people who are actually involved with the end bad governance to negotiate with them or to, to call them to table so that the discussions can actually start. But I noticed that every day Sowore will be talking. He has outlined the cities where these protests are going to be, that are ready for this very protest. And of course, let me name these cities. Let me show you that on the screen. Production team, please. Let's show that on the screen so that we understand that we have people who have clearly shown their face, that they are the ones who are calling for revolution now. He actually called it a rage that is going to happen if government did not heed to the demands on the table. And every time they keep talking, they don't know who are those people. They are faceless. They are the. Let's even listen to one governor who actually came, I think it's Hope Ozodema, who said different things. Let's listen to him before so that you can, take cognizance of the fact that what they are saying to, dive into this. It seems that let's even listen to that, then we'll continue.
Democracy is about opinion of the people, and the protest is allowed in a democratic setting. But every protest must be reasonably conceived to be able to make political sense. I think it's too early at this time in the life of this government for anybody to come out to say he wants to protest. First of all, there have not been any engagement where those who are sponsoring the protest was able to tell us the reasons for the protest. Secondly, given the global situation today and the insecurity in the country, we have a very fragile political environment that, if not managed and protected very well, may collapse the entire country. So those who are going to protest, what is the reason for the protest? And if they have no reason for the protest, I think our advice, we're meaning Nigerians, citizens of this country who are making sacrifices. Some of us have paid the supreme price for the existence of this country. We should guide our country very jealously. I think it is wrong time for anybody to do any protest. Because the implication of doing that, if care is not taken, is that it may be hijacked, like the NSAS experience, where criminals now hijacked and innocently conceived agitation by young Nigerians. So this is another kind of temptation that I think too, that those behind the protest, because they have not been able to come out openly to say they are behind it, there is something that is a motive that.
So, Lord K, I'm coming to you right off. We've heard that is Governor Hope Uzodinma who is talking about that it has not been articulated and all that. I want to remind you that this same governor is the person who has issue with Joe Ajero, the president of the NLC, when he sent thugs to beat him up while they were having a peaceful protest. And now is the same man who is talking about thugs coming to hijack the protest, the peaceful protest. So that's why I think that this government seems to be planning on unleashing havoc on a peaceful protest. Or what are your thoughts, Lord K? Lord K.
Yes, good evening, studio panelists, and Obedience around the world. Thank you for this one more time again. And I'd want to start with Governor, which of course should have been named hopelessness instead of hope. Because if he can actually be saying right now are the reasons for this protest, then you can actually tell that this man, he's a governor in the absence of the people he's governing. He's a governor that doesn't understand the plight of the people he's governing. He doesn't understand the economy of the nation because they are all padded and they don't see past their bedrooms. For a governor to open his mouth to say, what is the reason of the protest? The protesters should come and explain why they want to protest. I think that's enough reason why this man should be taken out. That's enough reason why he should be taken out. Because this is the complacency we keep talking about the administration of the country. Instead of this man to come out and say, yes, we understand and we are trying to see how we deal with this, he said, what is the reason? So, you mean up to this very moment, you don't know why they're coming out for the protest? It's a shame. I think it should be called hopelessness, not hope. Hopelessness. On that as well, I mean, the government and the party he belongs to, you could see the trail of hopelessness in them all, from the top right to where he is. I just cannot comprehend what this man just said. I cannot comprehend at all. So you mean the youths, the working class, the common man in your state, they are all enjoying themselves. You satisfied them, and you don't know the reason why they're coming out to do this protest. Wow. Wow.
Recall that during
I think it should be
during recall he promised to take about 1,000 immunizer. He's going to send them to either Germany or Spain, but he said he was going to send them outside the country so that they could japa and do some things. Up till now, we have not heard whether it is 100 he has sent out or I don't know why people still listen to him, but all the same, please touch on the Oro Festival issue in Lagos and also the Zamfara beating of the Bashir guy.
I remember during his campaign that he was going to take, I think it was 5,000. He said 5,000 youths he was going to send abroad for training. And up to this very moment, we have not heard of one that has been on the plane, gone anywhere. Because they just come out to sweet talk the public to get into power, and then they say, oh, well, to hell with you. I've got what I want. That is exactly what's happening here right now. That is why he's saying he doesn't understand why they want to come out to protest. I mean, on the issue of the Oro Festival in Lagos, I mean, the gods are not to be blamed again anymore. The gods are not to be blamed anymore. Because the gods are not getting the sacrifice they need, they want. They're not getting it anymore. The people are not having the money to buy these goats, the ram, the whatever the gods need. They are not finding it anymore. So the gods have to come out and protest as well. They need to, they need to join. They need to make their plight known. Gentlemen,
described it. He said that the Oro Festival is about witnessing a revolutionary transformation. It is about seeing a real festival, the festival of the oppressed, and they call it the days of rage. Go ahead.
Yes, that's very correct. That's very correct. Because the gods don't understand what's going on anymore. The ancestors, they are tired. They have received enough cries from the people. They cannot handle it anymore. And I believe that's the same thing that God in heaven is actually dealing with right now. He has had enough. He wants people to go and do what they can, and then he will assist them.
Okay, there's another reaction. The other reaction is from Nebdi. He said they have dragged gods and culture into politics, deciding to hold Oro Festival on the days of peaceful protest against bad governance is cowardice. He said no one disrespects Yoruba culture more than the Lagos APC. I hope you won't accuse non-Yorubas of disrespecting Yoruba culture. This is coming from another. There are different reactions, though. Let's also take another reaction, and that is coming from also, I think, from Shawara also, who says the days of rage. These are the towns and cities where protest coordinators have emerged across Nigeria. And they said revolt, that is End Bad Government Nigeria revolt. He said, please, if your town or city is missing, feel free to include it here. Hashtag revolution now. And he started naming them according to the distant Abia, Aba, Umuahia, Adamawa, Mubi, Yola, Akwa Ibom, Uyo, Anambra, Oka, Onisha, several states that are being that are built up for this. So Lord K, finally, tell us your take on all of this, including what happens to the young man Bashir in Zamfara State.
I mean, if we go down that list, you will actually find Edo states there. You'll find Edo. Edo is, I mean, they are fully ready for this. They are fully ready for this because they've had enough of the state government, of the federal government, of the House of Assembly, everything there. They've all had enough of it. And it's time they start doing a change straight away. I mean, right now, all these guys, all these senators, the House of Assembly members, they're all flying out of the country because they know, the people know their houses. They know their offices. They are all flying and they're closing their offices, closing their houses and flying out of the country. But the same thing is going to happen to them when they are caught anywhere here in the West. If they are caught in the Americas, the same thing is going to happen to them over there. Because there's no safe haven for anyone anymore. None of them. None of them. The government itself, there should be a shutdown of the airports everywhere. Everywhere shut down. And then let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. Enough is enough of this nonsense. Thank you.
It's enough as Nigerians react. As Lagos announces 15 days of Oro Festival. Let's quickly jump into Mr. Tony Oji joining us from the Coast City. Tony, I can see the list of the states, and of course I find Enugu there. How prepared are the people in Enugu? And of course, we also want to know your reactions on these things that are happening as government, instead of joining issues to resolve or engage, like they said yesterday, they want to engage the people who are actually making arrangements for the protest. Instead of engaging them, they are there threatening Nigerians, and also we see police that is also flogging some people who are gearing out for the protest. Please, let's have your take within 3 minutes, please.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining Obidient Family TV this evening. The beating of this young man, in fact, I think he's teenager, is an abomination. I just hope that somebody can do something about this. Those police officers involved in beating up a poor guy just simply because he wants to participate in the protest. That tells you the kind of humanity we are, the kind of people we have in this country. Police people are suffering the same poverty, from the same poverty everybody else is suffering from. And they had the audacity to beat up a small boy. Shame on them.
And Tony, the fact is that the guy was also on court.
It's just that I could not understand the language as they were speaking house or something. I saw the video. It's painful. And about this Hope Uzodimma blabbing, asking what are they asking for? Is he living in the Mars, in outer space, not to know exactly what is going on? It has been published everywhere, the demands of the organizers of the protest. And it's asking, you know, when some people speak, it just makes me want to throw up. People who have put us in this situation we are in, politicians, people like Uzodimma is talking. Look at him. Shameless individuals. They're everywhere. They are now running away from town. Where are you running? After you finish running, you come back. I hope this protest, this demonstration, will continue beyond the 10th of August. Let us continue doing it until something tangible is achieved. I mean, this is my prayer. We don't just stop on the 10th. The Kenyans are still demonstrating. They are still protesting. So let's just start and see how it goes. But I pray that it continues until we solve this problem, because Nigeria is in deep mess. No other country, not even Venezuela, has been in this situation Nigeria is in. It's terribly, terribly shameful. And those politicians, those people, the leaders, yeah, and the Lagos stuff, I just wanted to know, they say it's a Yoruba culture. Does it only happen in Lagos? Or does it happen like, you know, you're on the other states?
Lagos, just Lagos.
Okay. And they want to do it, junction, when this protest demonstration is planned, like they did last year during the elections. I think they are using it. They are using the festival politically to achieve their aim of blocking this protest, this demonstration going on, that will go on. It's simple.
Like North said, that maybe wants to join the protest. You never know.
Honestly, I don't think I think the politicians are using them to thwart the effort of Nigerians who want to demonstrate the agony they're going through.
Yeah, Mr. Tony, you know, this Oro Festival is not done in the daytime. They start it very early in the morning, I think about 1 o'clock, and then they must finish. They must finish at 6 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, anything that happens after that is not anybody's problem.
Okay, so maybe it will not have anything to do with the demonstration, the protest. Maybe they can do their thing and then get out of the way, and then the people can come out and do their protest. If that's the way it is, then that's fine. And but I don't think they go, because they're not going to be carrying placards. They're going to be doing their cultural thing, whatever it is. They'll be doing, and they finish and go. And then these are real issues. The real problem Nigerians are going through, the horrendous agony, painful, everybody's complaining everywhere. And
even the gods.
Even the gods are not happy. Why should they be happy? They can't be happy when people are dying, suffering, they don't have money to pay for hospital bills. I know how many calls I've gotten the past 1 month. People not being able to pay their hospital bills, not being able to go to doctor to check what's wrong with their body. That's how bad it is. And these people are just messing up everything, wallowing in poverty, the rest of us. And they feel satisfied, they feel happy that Nigerians are going through this.
I
don't know what kind of human beings.
Your position is that they have succeeded in dragging the Yoruba gods into politics. Well, that is left to see. We just have a few days to go, and we see how that all pans out. Let's quickly bring the Mazikali in. Mazikali, of course, you've had all the different things, the thing that happened in Zamfara, the threats coming out from the government instead of dialoguing with the Nigerian youths who are planning to go on a peaceful protest, and of course, the flogging of a handcuffed young man in Zamfara, and also the things that are just going on and on, but the threats that is coming out from the government is such that people should be afraid of going out on the 1st of August for a peaceful protest. But before you make your comment, let me quickly bring you what his Chief Bola Tinubu did during his time, how he sponsored for a peaceful protest, how he not just sponsored but came out and spoke against the government and all of that. You take a listen before we go into your own side of the conversation. Let's take a listen.
Who could improve this situation for the good of all of us, do not allow the opportunity to make things better for us. They make it better for themselves, for their comfort and their families. Cronyism is prevailing. Today, our rulers in Abuja and across some of their states what they say to us when they remove subsidy and we say no. Hunger is increasing, they say, so what? Unemployment is a cause, they say, yes, we know. Why are the people hungry? Is that let them face death. That is what is in Abuja of today. The current way of governance make nation do the impossible. What it does, it makes poverty and the erosion of just society inevitable. We have gathered at this hour in this place to put an end to the national corruption and corruption. We have assembled here today to bring a new day and in Nigeria to our people. Today, the Nigerian people are decent and hardworking people. They are equally long suffering. They tolerate for too long. Just because they are long suffering does not mean they should be forced to suffer.
That is Chief Bola Tinubu calling for protest against the state. But now he wants to use the police, he wants to use the army. He has been threatening. The threat has been all around for something that is a constitutional right of a peaceful protest. Even the constitution don't call it a peaceful, but we all know it is going to be a peaceful protest. So Mazi Kali, what do you think about the threats coming from the government, from what we have seen in the picture where the video where they are beating the young man, and also the introduction of the Oro Festival on when a planned peaceful protest is being organized?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And it's a pleasure to be back and to rub minds with, esteemed folks like everyone. And I want to welcome you all. I'll go straight to the question. I remember, Mr. Kanu quoting the Constitution, telling us about Section A of this and what it says. In Nigeria, who gives a damn about the Constitution? That's the question I ask. These people have no respect for the Constitution, no respect for law. So the policeman arresting the guy is doing it because he knows he can do it and nothing will happen. And yes, they will ask you, what are you going to do about it? Straight in your face. What are you going to do? And that's the situation. Now, if you look at the strategy, and I keep saying this all the time, look, they don't go for those guys who have been talking about this revolution now, Soare and the rest of them. They know them. So it's a predatory strategy. You go for the weakest person. So this guy Zamfara is a very weak link that you can beat the hell out of him and nothing is going to happen. But you can't do it to Soare, or else the country will go in flame. They know these things. And when they do that, they put fear in the mind of an average person and say, look, see what they did to that guy? I don't think I want to be a victim. That's the strategy. Now, when you come to this, it's a playbook. Mark you now, during the gubernatorial election, the damn, I'll call him damn because he doesn't deserve to be an Oba. The Oba of Lagos came up with the same nonsense. They're going to do the Gongo Festival, whatever they call that nonsense, and nobody's going to come out between this time and this time. My question is this: who enforces that rule? Now, if they are going to come with their masquerade in the morning and do whatever they do, who enforces it? It's the police. So they know what they're doing. So you see, they are in conspiracy with the federal government, so that if you come out, they beat the hell out of you and put fear into you, and that's what it. So that they will be able to now, section the people they want and win. And it was successful. So they just taking that playbook back into this one. So if we want to, succumb to it, fine. If we want to ignore it, I think which is the best thing, we ignore it, and then you realize that the Oba will become irrelevant because he's now nothing but a card-carrying member of APC and a tribal bigot. He is the one who doubles down on this tribalism, and he has a deep resentment for Igbo people. And he has said it over and over, just that people cannot come clear. Then thirdly, when you look at Onanuga's tweak, he's now trying to link this, movement or this so-called protest to an Igbo movement, because he knows that that's the only way he can whip sense from the Southwesterners and say, well, you know what? Look, this thing is just the Igbo people who want to undermine a Yoruba administration. And it's just unfortunate that these people keep bringing this nonsense. And if we fall for it, my God, we doom forever. So I hope that people will look beyond this nonsense that they've been talking about and just go out and demonstrate. Now, finally, I believe very well that they're going to hijack it. Just like they've been talking about the NSAS. They are the ones who hijacked the NSAS, brought in their thugs, and used the cover to kill innocent people. They are the ones, Tinubu himself, because his own investment was threatened. And he called Buhari and said, you know what, this is not going to happen. And overnight, they did that. We saw what the independent investigation and this thing that they set up, came up with in their conclusion. So this is the same thing that they're going to do. But like I said, and there are people saying it, if you kill one person, then we're going to escalate the whole process. So I just believe very well that we will stick, to our guns. It's a revolution coming up, and it's not only in Nigeria. It's picking steam all across the continent. It's picking steam, and you're going to see that if that in Nigeria succeeds, like a wave is going to sweep across the continent. And I hope that we'll take the leadership that for which we are known. Unfortunately, if we cowtail, then we'll have nothing. For our own generation is gone, because we tried and we Japa when Japa was not really in the dictionary, because the frustration was that there's not really anything you could do, and then you had to leave. Now it's the young people now that you all have to really know what you're going to do. We're going to give you all the moral support, but let's go for it, because the time is now. Thank you.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you. I want to touch on the flogging of the young man in Zamfara, who obviously is in handcuffs. And just for the mentioning of the fact that he wants to join the protest, from what he was speaking in Hausa, it was clear that he was saying that there is no going back on the planned protest, and the people there were saying to arrest him, and he was on handcuffs. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I think, like I said, it's unfortunate, and the police has no right but to do what they're doing, but they do it anyway because they know nothing is going to happen. So if the guy is resolved, even in midst of this threat and humiliation, and still determined, I believe that that same sentiment is shared by a lot of other people that we didn't see. If that is the case, then there is hope, and no amount of arrest is going to change anything. No amount of arrest or intimidation is going to change.
That is Mazekali joining us to have a discussion on all of this. But before we go, let's quickly bring you what Dele Momodu said about Tinubu was sworn in on May 29, and the first thing he did was give bad news to Nigerians. Let's listen to how he said it and what he said briefly, then we'll come back for more discussions to conclude on this topic.
Who are these followers of APC, and when did they become followers of APC? That's another matter. But I will answer you directly and frontally that when you talk about economics and the economy, they are two different things. Economics is the theoretical aspect of the economy. The economy is the practical side of economics. No matter the highfalutin theories you bring from IMF, from World Bank, as long as it does not reflect on the lives of Nigerians, you are just blowing grammar. It's all about semantics. I am telling you, sir, that there is no country. If you look at crisis from Venezuela to anywhere, even Brazil, go and read their trajectories, you will see that IMF, is always a problem. During the Babangida era, I remember one of the first stories I wrote for African Concord magazine was on SAP. They told us SAP is the magic word. SAP is the only thing that will lead us to heaven and paradise. Where did SAP leave Nigeria? Maybe you will remember the SAP riot of 1989. Me, I'm a good student of Nigerian history. And I know that what these people are saying, oh, just relax. Let me tell you, why would a leader be sworn in on May 29, 2023? And the first thing he will do is to give bad news to the people. You are talking about renewed hope. You did not even wait 1 second. If you rush a patient to a doctor, what's the first thing the doctor will do? The doctor will first stabilize the patient. So if they rush a patient to a doctor, and then the doctor says, oh, this guy cannot survive, he said, let's just give him injection so he can die once and for all. That's what happened on May 29, 2023. The doctor gave an injection. We killed Nigeria instantly. There was no rush. You needed to be there, since you were not there with Buhari, to know why Buhari, an army general, lacked the courage to take that decision. But because our man was goaded into believing that because you are Bola Tinubu, you can do anything and nothing will happen. Show courage, show muscle. That's what led us to this crisis. We have not recovered. Just one injection, Nigeria went into coma. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but Chief Dele Mamadou, you have also inferred in that your open letter.
Right, Lord K, please, your final words as our time. Don't give us signal, make we come off for studio. Quickly, please.
Yeah, thank you very much one more time again. Just to encourage our fellow Nigerians that, look, this time, everything has to be done for the benefit of our country. Everything has to be done for the benefit of our states, of our communities. This is not a time to be afraid. You have been in this suffering. I mean, what else do you expect? If the correction is not done right now, if the beginning of the correction is not done right now, when will it be? When will it be? And also, for those of us that are from Edo States, Obidient in Edo States and the environs, we all know that, yes, our chief aspirant, that's Olumide Akpata, he is going to be in the UK this week. He will be in London on Friday and then in Manchester on Saturday. And then he's going to be moving to Belgium on Sunday. And then Antwerp on, I think, on Wednesday the following week. In London here, the venue where it's going to be happening is All Saints Community Center. All Saints Community Center, 105 New Cross Road, London SE14 SDJ. That's on the 26th. And then in Manchester, he's going to be at Stanley House, Manchester Road. Stanley House, Manchester Road, Odenshaw. That's M34 5GB. That's the postcode. Manchester 34 5GB. I mean, it's a free event where, I mean, everybody, you can come in. It don't matter if you're APC, PDP, or wherever you come from. But it's an occasion that you don't want to miss. To come and hear how an elite will want to govern a state. How they want to actually see that things are beginning to change. Rice and stew is going to be very plenty. There are going to be drinks and they're going to be dancing time. So guys, let's make it happen. Let's give Nigeria that change. Let's start it from now. The protest is something we support, but then let's do it peacefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lord K. Our time don't give us signal. Come back to studio, make we just begin waka dey go. And for people where they join me for studio, the Legi Okike, your final words, please.
We must encourage Nigerians to not just protest, but protest peacefully. This is the time, if not now, when we have to protest now.
But peacefully.
Peacefully, emphasis on peacefully.
All right, the emphasis is on peaceful protest. And you, Mercy?
Yeah, I still urge my well-meaning Nigerians out there to make sure that all the plans towards this protest is peaceful, so that there won't be any room to any corrupt leader out there to hijack the protest.
All right. Until tomorrow, when we come your way again, remain blessed and know that it is for a peaceful protest for everybody. Prepare. The revolution is now on a peaceful note, according to my people. Until tomorrow, bye for now.